Hi, I'm Max Keiser. This is the Keiser Report, the show that massages your mind like a fine Thai masseuse. You ever been to Bangkok? They got the best masseuse ever. Feet all day long. Speaking of feet massage, let's talk to Stacey Herbert. Stacey.
I think it's called foot massage.
Yeah.
And Max is doing a live Periscope as we do this, which is basically a form of Russian roulette for a TV presenter.
It's chat roulette. Except, talking heads instead of other things.
Whenever you want to put that down, then we will commence and begin. Resume our Keiser Report.
I forgot to turn the timer on, so I'm really blind at this point.
So I have a headline here I thought would give you great joy. In fact, I think it might give you glee. Airbus prepares to take flight. Aerospace giant on brink of abandoning British investment. Tens of thousands of manufacturing roles at risk over Brexit. But for the ordinary Brit, do not worry about those loss of thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs at Airbus. No. Picking fruit is more fun than you think, job seekers told.
What? Job seekers, picking fruit is more fun than you thought. This is the Times of London. Of course picking fruit is more. Remember pre-Brexit, it was all about the British might to bring back 500 factories. We're going to export our way back into a GDP rocket ship and take on the world. Cool Britannia, go Britannia. Well, it turns out they're all going to be picking fruit out there in Canterburyshire.
But it's more fun than you would possibly think.
Is picking fruit a lot of fun?
Well, when I was a teenager, I did pick strawberries for a living.
Jump down, turn around, pick some strawberries. Jump down, turn around, pick some strawberries. Hey, Brexit, now we're all slaves. Hey, Brexit, that was a mistake.
Nevertheless,
yes.
It was a job apparently that is supposed to be fun. It definitely was kind of fun when we were teenagers and hanging out with all my girlfriends in the strawberry fields. But
strawberry fields, there's Stacey.
So I want to turn to the next headline because, of course, as you see from that front page of the Times, Airbus prepares to take flight and picking fruit is more fun than you think. Well, it's not looking so good on the Brexit front. And apparently Theresa May is not having much luck negotiating against Merkel. Nobody seems to have much luck negotiating against Merkel. We saw Donald Trump recently trying to negotiate against her and throwing her some Starbucks candies from America. And then she stayed firm. She stayed firm against Yanis Varoufakis and all the various Greek people who tried to get her to back down on the debt. But that didn't work either, and we're going to get to that. But Putin glee is latest reason UK says it should get Brexit deal. The UK will tell the European Union that a no-deal Brexit would be celebrated by Russian President Vladimir Putin, according to a person familiar with the British government's thinking. It's the latest attempt to soften the bloc's stance by Britain, which wants wide-ranging cooperation in areas from crime fighting to financial services, but the EU insists the UK can't have the same level of integration as it enjoyed as a member of the bloc.
Right. Now, you mentioned Greece there. Or did you mention Greece? Because there's an interesting side point there.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second because here is the UK, and they're trying to negotiate against Europe. They're having no luck. Europe keeps on saying, no, we're not going to give you all these goodies that you want because you're not part of the bloc anymore. So now they're resorting to, they've lost all negotiating leverage, and all they have is that if you continue to be so hard on us, then Putin is going to be gleeful.
Right. So let me bring up the point that I made when the Brexit vote went down. And I got a lot of flack by making the very obvious statement and observation that the United Kingdom relies 17-18% of their GDP on exports to the EU. The EU gets maybe 4 or 5% of their GDP is based on exports to Great Britain. So you never go to a gunfight with a knife. And United Kingdom was never going to win this negotiation. And their attitude was in total entitlement. Like, don't you understand? We have got the Queen, so the Germans and the French, they're just going to bow down, and they're going to give us a great deal because we're great, and everyone knows we're great. And I said, wait a minute. These are hardened, Teutonic, chiseling German people. They're not going to just throw money at you, you silly cows.
Well, the next headline just shows you who Theresa May is up against when she's trying to negotiate, because a full member of the EU who had the euro, who was a part of the European Union, who were actually very enthusiastic members of the European Union and embraced it fully and took in all the refugees and immigrants flooding in throughout because of the wars that we were fighting in the Middle East. Well, Germany has made over $3 billion in profit from Greece's crisis since 2010. As Keep Talking Greece reports, this is the official response of the federal government to a request submitted by the Green Party in Berlin. The profit was transmitted to the Central Bundesbank and from there to the federal budget. The revenues came mainly due to purchases of Greek government bonds under the so-called Securities Markets Program of the European Central Bank. So here's Angela Merkel, who kept on, they cried, they protested, they rioted in the streets of St. Thomas Square. They did all that stuff. They threw Molotov cocktails. They did everything. And, Merkel has maintained the same physical posture and face and reaction for the past 10 years and continues to say no and, in fact, profited from it. So here's Theresa May. I don't know what she expects is what sort of negotiating power. She doesn't even have negotiating power because she's not even in the euro. At least Greece could kind of threaten to destroy the whole euro.
This is what happens when you have people in parliament and running Britain at number 10 who are financially illiterate.